Hi everyone, I'm finally getting around to day 52. I had a little bit of a break and missed a day. Well, these things happen and that's not a problem. So yes, so today it's colourful and bright like Johanna, and Johanna I will link in the bottom the little YouTube I used for her particular the particular YouTube I used of hers. So she was making cute little bright journal cards in her journal. So I thought I would make a similar thing, and I had a little bit of a trial run. I was mucking around because hers are very bright and hand illustrated. I know that I'm not brilliant at hand illustrating, but I thought I would like to have a little play with this, as she used I don't know how to explain it. She had a backing and then she had a card over the top, and you flipped down the card and there was a writing spot behind it. So I thought that I would use this stamp because I wanted to use a fairy. Let's have a look, see if I can find, here it is. I thought I'd like to use a fairy, one of the fairy stamps. So this is my muck around, try out different backgrounds and watercolour journal. I might have shown it a bit before. It's the first book I ever made, and I found an old bed sheet at the op shop and put in some of my old printing that I'd made ages ago, and I've just slowly been filling it up with different collages and, you know, just playing. This is my muck around book. It doesn't have to always be beautiful. It's experimental, like, you know, I dyed a bit of material here, and this was just testing out on wet how this stamp would come out with the distress oxide, and when it's wet, using the background, it's done with a bit of blotting paper. This is going to be in a printable kit, not just yet. I'm actually adding a few more to it. So even though it's my first journal, I know that I could have improved the way I bound it, but I learned a lot, and I was experimenting with the texture paste through the stencil, collaging. I gesso these pages, so they are the arches, or not the arches, the Fabriano, sorry. And I've shown it before, but generally I just had a whole heap of this paper left over, so I folded them all up, and then I added a couple of little bits of paper that I'd used with rice underneath while they were damp, and pressed them. And I haven't gessoed. I kind of only gesso as I go when I'm ready. So I have made these two little pages, so I thought I would have a little bit of play with this one. So I've been noticing that when I've been trying to stamp into a journal with something like this, that the surface can be a little bit up and down and mixed. So I remembered, of course, because I did my printmaking diploma, that I had these. These are battens, they're called, I think, and they're just designed to rub over when you're making a print. So I found these, I remembered I had them. So I had a little bit of a muck around. This was where I realised that I needed to do a proper print. So I had a makeshift background, and then I made this cute little one from this little house. And I thought that I would, like Johanna did, have a very nondescript background one underneath and then a darker one over the top. So let's make one or two of these. Now I'm using the Stays On, so as it's a alcohol ink, or a solvent based ink. I'm using the black so as it's a good solid colour. And once again, I've mentioned it before, and I think it was joggles.com maybe that I saw. If you pat a lot and gently and often, you get a much better ink build-up. Just giving it a good rub. And let's see how we went. Okay. Dry that off a bit. Going to so it's really good to give your inks, your stamp, a good clean using the Stays On Special Cleaner. And I just rub it on like that. I mean, maybe there's other ways to do it that are better, I don't know. But anyway, this is there. Give it a good clean. Just put this aside. And I want to also, so I'm going to be cutting this down so I can still put another imprint on this page. I've got one I previously did that's dry. I'm going to put this one aside to dry so I can use up here for this one. So once again, just getting the nice gentle tapping. Press in. So I'm finding it a lot better results doing it this way, as the paper has more flex down into the actual stamp, rather than the other way where there could be, especially in a junk journal, where there could be like numerous layers of, you know, different varied layers really underneath that interfere with a flat surface. Right, okay, so I now have two little backgrounds, and I actually need this one to dry a bit more, so I'm not going to work on that yet. I'll just put that aside. Now I've cut this one in as close as possible. And I know that the heading is colourful like Johanna, and what I would like to do is cut this a bit further out so as it covers the edges. And because I've used Stays On, I can use Copics, I could use watercolour, I could use just general textures to colour this. Okay, so this is going to come over the top like this. Now I know that I could probably do another one of these. I was just mucking around and bits of the background were all missing, and I ended up putting a little bit of textured coloured paper. These were from freebies, I think, from Nick the Booksmith, and a little name tag. I think that if I was going to do this in my not muck around journal, because muck around journal is really for daily explorations, I would probably make a new one of these. But this, see, the thing is, it's good to have a reminder of what, sometimes, of what didn't work, because then you remember what and why it didn't work. So I will be sticking this one. Actually, I think I'm going to stick it on this side because that speaks to me for something else. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. Give this a bit glitter glue because this is paint, so I need a bit more adherence to a painted background. And you know, as I say, it's a bit, you know, this is a bit more of my scrappy experimental journal where I find things I love, things I don't love. Sometimes I get even the odd printable out of it, even though it's a tiny little journal, tiny little muck around book. Now, the thing is with this, I could have left another bit of, like Johanna did, I could have left another bit of this paper below and then had it folded. But what I also can do is make sure it's covered. I can just use some washi. And let's see what I've got close by. This seems to be my favourite lately. Oh, that one's nice though. I do have a lot more, they're just over the other side of the room in a big tin, and as my daughter's been here, the room is a complete mess and she's camped out here on a camp stretcher and I can't find anything, and I've moved stuff to get out of her way because she's doing exams online for uni, so as you can imagine, it's a big mess at the moment. So there, that would be a little tuck spot. Thanks, Johanna, that's great. Great little idea. And then I can colour that, paint it. I will do that later. At the moment, I'm thinking I am going to put this one on. Or do I want this one here? Then I could have two little areas. Okay. Two little hidden writing areas. So cute. As you can see, I stamped off a bit of ink from previous onto the back of this, so I'm just using it. It's going to be stuck down. It won't matter using it twice. Recycling, that's the way. That's the thing. There we go. So even though this isn't a complete project I could sell, you know, I'm still, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Oh dear. That glue gets up my nose. All right, put the lid on there. Okay, so now one of the only issues I can see with this one is that if I put washi here, maybe I'll use a thin, I think what I used was actually a thin one. I reckon I can still do this. Oh, there goes the cat. She wants her dinner and to go to bed. Doing this at night. Alright, so I can just cut that. Alright, so there, that would be a tuck spot. And here, that will be another tuck spot. Little writing spots. Oh, how cute are they? I think, I don't know why, I feel quite pressed for time at the moment since Lily's arrived. We're doing things together. She's in my room studying for exams, etc. So I'm kind of rushing a little bit my days and doing simpler versions or very sped up versions. However, that's how life is, and that's okay, and I am still learning things, and I really like these, and I definitely, when I find where my texters are and my Copics are, somewhere in the pile over the other side of the room, I will have a little go at colouring these in. So this is it for my day 52, yes, we're up to 52. And I hope you're having a great day, and I will catch you later. Bye.